Well, hello everyone, Texie88 here, and welcome to another review. And now we're taking a look at Bits and Pieces, which is yet another of the terrible games from the Nintendo Entertainment System's infamous Action 52 cartridge that Active Enterprises brought out in 1991. God, I'll be so glad when I've done all 52 of these horrible piles of utter poo, because they really are bad and I don't want to play them anymore. Let's just get on with this. Okay, so we appear to have a poor clone of Ghosts and Goblins in which you can't actually shoot. Well, actually, it's more like a cross between that and Kung Fu Master. The only problem is Ghosts and Goblins and Kung Fu Master were both pretty good, at least originally. This is a complete abomination. You can't even attack. And look at those enemies. What the hell are they? You can tell this wasn't an official cartridge because there's no way Nintendo of America would have permitted those crosses to be on the gravestones in the background. They would have insisted that they be changed to something else or removed completely. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, I turn into a pile of dust. Oh, for goodness sake. My goodness, this actually has proper jumping controls, as well as flickery sprites as usual when there's lots in line with each other. Typical Action 52 fodder. There's no score on this. What's that all about? How am I meant to jump over all that? I mean, you get no weapons in this. I mean, at all. Why don't you get any weapons in this? Well, I didn't touch that. Bad hit detection. Music's crap as usual. Ugh. This is so horrible. I had no chance of avoiding that. See, when there are enemies right next to each other, you got no choice but to take a hit. I didn't touch that. There was clearly a gap between me and that green, whatever the hell. Whoa, God, flicker central. Level 2. I can barely see those skeletons because they blend in too well with the gravestones in the background. Oh, great. Seriously? Oh, for God's sake. This game is absolutely stupid. I'm going to die in a moment. Oh, God. And why does it make an explosion sound effect whenever an enemy hits you? I recognise that mound. That's what your character in Illuminator turns into if you die. Oh, God. This game is crap. And this music's so repetitive. Typical Action 52 cack fodder. And more sprite glitching on the edges of the screen, just like in something like City of Doom. Oh, God. 2-frame animation on the main sprite. There's not 2-frame animation on... Oh, for God's sake, don't have the enemies right next to each other. I can't jump over them. Oh, it's level 3. Oh, what the bloody hell? Oh, for God's sake. What's the point to this game? There's nothing redeeming about it. I mean, you can't even shoot. You can't attack. You literally all you can do is jump over enemies and hope you don't hit them too many times. Because if you take too many hits, you're going to die. and there's no visible energy bar. Bloody hell, I can barely see that skeleton because it's almost the same colour as that background. Were it not for the grey on it, I wouldn't have been able to see it at all. What the... Oh, what the hell is this? What are those purple things? Why can't this... Whatever this is, Frankenstein-like creature have an attack of some kind. I mean, honestly, in a fight, he'd be... Oh, God. In a fight, he'd be as much use as a chocolate fire guard. And why would a character who can't actually do anything apart from jump be sent on a mission like this anyway? At least in, say, Kung Fu Master or Ghosts and... you could punch and kick enemies, and at least in Ghosts and Goblins, you could actually throw weapons at them. You can't do either of that in this. So you literally only have the ability to jump over them. What are those purple things? I mean, what are those green things as well, for all that matter? I mean, you've got werewolves, and it looks like the werewolves are wearing trousers. Oh, for God's sake. The flickering made it almost impossible to see those enemies, so I had about 3 of them hit me all pretty much all at once. Oh, this is horrible. You know what? If you were to look at if you had actually to look online at pictures of the actual box, it would say that the games on Action 52 were new and original. They bloody aren't. This is a cross, but this is basically a shit version of Ghosts and Goblins and Kung Fu Master, but without the ability to actually attack. And it's gone back to level 1, so I've completed it already. I can't be bothered to play this anymore since I've completed it. It's just another of those stupid games that never ends and just takes you straight back to level 1. That'll do me. Game over anyway. So that's bits and pieces from the Nintendo Entertainment System's horrible Action 52. Usual problem with the graphics, not up to standards for 1991. 2-frame animation on the sprite that you control. 3 on some of the enemies if you're lucky. And what the hell are half those enemies anyway? Oh dear. I don't think I even want to know. I'm not even going to question the logic in this game anymore because there basically isn't any. Sound. Usual problem of repetitive, irritating music that doesn't suit the game, and some rather bad sound effects even for an NES. Gameplay, well, one big plus is it seems to have something akin to proper jumping controls, which after the likes of Billy Bob, which I reviewed the other day, as well as some of those others which I've reviewed from this cartridge, where you had to jump and then move afterwards. You could actually press the jump button while, say, heading right, and you'd continue to go right whilst you're in midair, which is what you'd expect from such a jumping mechanism. But that's not enough to save the fact that this is still a pretty terrible game. I mean, you can't attack in any way. So you're reduced to just jumping over everything and hoping you don't take too many hits in the process, simply because on some occasions there can be a whole run of about 3 or 4 enemies, which means you've got no choice but to take a hit because you can't jump far enough to clear them all. And there's some bad hit detection. There are points where I backed into the enemy that I just jumped over that was behind me, and I took a hit from it, even though there was clearly a gap between me and it. I mean, honestly, if you're going to do a clone of the likes of Kung Fu Master and or Ghosts and Goblins, at least give the main character some kind of attack. Oh, dear me. And the fact that it's so short and dull and repetitive and lacking in substance and sense, And the fact that it just takes you straight back to level 1 after you finish level 3, no. Yet again, it's another Action 52 game which has absolutely nothing special, nothing redeeming about it. 1 out of 10. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video. Catch you on another one soon. Texie88 out.